Bill.
I'm sorry, we started to have the meeting without the microphone on. We do have a quorum, Ray Akabuchi, Cheryl Tamola, Steve Beckley, Vince Panoni, and Randy Bates are the directors present. Two of them are in the meeting, Cheryl Tamola and Steve Beckley. The others are virtual. And Cheryl will now take over the meeting.
Okay, well, we just asked everybody if you approve of the minutes. Would you like to approve of the minutes, or do you have any additions or corrections? I made a motion to do so. Steve Beckley seconded. Any comments, folks? No? Okay, all right, all in favor then. I'm gonna go.
Aye.
Aye.
There we go. I hear people now.
Okay.
Do we have any audience comments? Have you, you posted on the website, right?
Yes, it was posted on the website on Friday afternoon
Okay,
and no emails or correspondence.
all righty. So I'm calling the meeting to order now. The PACD monthly report. Any highlights there?
No, we do have something on the agenda for later. That was part of that PhD report.
Okay.
We'll have talk.
All righty. We'll move that to later. Okay, I will entertain a motion to file all bank statements for audit for the affiliate fund money market. Wait, there are no checks, right?
Not for the money market.
You're right, okay. Next motion for the affiliate fund checking.
So you just always do them as a unit, all
Right,
the bank
exactly.
statements. on it.
And the clean water fund money market, the petty cash account checking, and the low volume road program 18. Alrighty. Alrighty, I'll entertain a motion for same.
Second.
It's me and whoever seconded. Who seconded?
Randy.
Randy. No, I didn't even recognize your voice over there. I mean, he has on the snazzy glasses. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
Emergency reviews. To motion to approve for deposit the following emergency review fees. I'd like to know, is Poplar Avenue just a, in Radnor, is that just a house?
That's an aqua, water line.
Oh, water line, the road's all torn up every time I go by it. Okay. Any comment on any of these? Okay, I'd like to hear a motion for the emergency reviews. Accepting the emergency
I'll make
review.
the motion.
Thanks, Steve. Second, anybody?
I'll second it.
Okay. Okay, motion to request authorization to purchase a landscape style trailer for the electric UTV not to exceed $5,000. Landscape style. Right.
Yeah, basically it's just an open trailer we're moving ahead with the UTV purchase, and we'll have that on the agenda here as well. But we want to go shopping for it, and we just want to get approval for it ahead of time, so once we can negotiate finding a trailer somewhere.
Okay. Alrighty, I will make a motion to approve this because I'm excited that we're going to get this. And do I hear a second?
Second.
All right, thanks. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
Request a motion to transfer the, what's the first word?
Unconventional gas well
Yes,
funds from the
well
Pennsylvania
New
Utility.
gas well funds, I couldn't remember whether it was unconventional gas well funds. Okay, so,
These are funds that we received from the Marcellus shale drilling activities,
Mhm, right.
and it comes through the PUC as a block grant. And that money is given to us in July. We hold it in our account to transfer it over to the county to pay for offset the cost of our operations. And
that's where it's
Beginning of the
going,
year.
and that's where it's going.
that's where it is right now.
All right. Another motion to accept this,
I'll make the motion to accept.
thanks. Second,
I'll second.
thanks, Randy. All right, all in favor, yes?
Aye.
Aye.
Another motion, we have a lot of motions today. Who knew? Request a motion to transfer watershed specialist grant reimbursement to Delaware County for $15,797.20. I'll entertain a motion. Okay,
I'll make the motion.
okay. Was that Vince?
Yes.
Okay, second.
Second.
Okay, Steve, thank you. All in favor, I presume?
Aye.
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 Motion request, a motion to transfer the CDFAP reimbursement to Delaware County of 39,000 plus.
CDFAP stands for Conservation District Fund Allocation Program, and basically this is a program in which the State Conservation Commission gives us money for district manager and district technician and administrative costs.
Correct. This is money we're going to get, right?
It's usually about $64,000 we get annually, base reimbursed on a quarterly basis,
Well, why is this only 39?
because it starts in July.
Oh, I
and
see, so this is
and-
the right
and-
time.
mhm.
Okay. Alrighty. A motion to approve this?
Motion to approve it.
Thanks. Okay, second.
Second.
Are you all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, another request a motion to reimburse Southeastern Pennsylvania RC&D $75 for trailer expenses that will be covered by our Growing Greener grant. So I will make this motion.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
I request a motion to reimburse Darby Creek Valley Association $500 for the completed mini grant.
Karen, do you have anyone what grant that was for?
That would have been fall 2022. So they had interns create brochures for invasive species and local fish.
Mhm.
And they used the funds to print those brochures and distribute them.
Good. I haven't seen them around though.
They just finished it.
Oh, good,
Yeah,
okay.
so I asked for some copies and we have
Yeah.
the electronic copies too.
Usually you see them in the township buildings, at the beginning, in the front of the township building, you see them, I haven't seen them. Anything new there.
I'm
I
sure
always
they'll send
peruse
them out
them.
soon.
Right,
They
exactly.
printed like 1,000 of each or
Oh,
something.
geez, oh,
Yeah.
good, I should see one day.
Yeah.
Okay, so how about this motion to the Darby Creek Valley Association? Do I hear a motion?
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
Thanks, Randy.
Second.
Alrighty. Yes, thank you both very much. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, request a motion to reimburse Penn State watershed specialist. Master watershed specialist, for plans for Smedley Park multifunction buffer to be reimbursed by grant. So, anything to say about this?
I can explain it.
Okay.
So Penn State Extension, they purchased the plants for our multifunctional buffer project at Smedley Park. That was that live state nursery. So they purchased all the live state material and their trees. They purchased with a bulk order of trees for their plant sales. So
Mhm.
they were able to get a reduced price. So this is us reimbursing them for those funds, and then we will be reimbursed by the grant that is still active,
Okay, good,
PACD.
excellent. Already a motion for this one?
Make motion.
Okay, thanks, Steve. Second,
I'll second.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, this is the last of our motions, so you don't have to tune in on this. A request a motion to transfer low volume road replenishment funds from our affiliate fund money market to our low volume road account, 30,000 plus.
Yes, and just to justify why this is necessary,
Yes,
the state only allows us to have funds directly deposited into one account. So it all comes into our affiliate members' money market account, and then we have to shift it around into the appropriate accounts. We had to keep a separate account for low volume roads. So we just take it from where it comes in and move it over to low volume roads.
right. Makes it easier for them, more difficult for you, right?
Yes, they would have let us transfer it to the direct deposit to the exact account. We wouldn't have to do this. But
Right, exactly, but. Okay. Already, I will make this motion and do I hear a second?
Second.
Thanks, Steve. All in favor?
Aye.
Very good. Thank you all very much. Okay, now to old business. The ATV, UTV purchase, which would be assigned to the Parks Department and shared, which we have been discussing. Authorization to pay 19,000 plus at the time of delivery. Excitement. Okay.
You just want to formalize it. We did go through the process of getting a bid from a place in Melbourne. It's the Intimidator ATV, the UTV. And we took out the things, like I said at the last meeting, we took out the winch, we took out the doors, we took off the package for special wheels and stuff that they put on there.
Air conditioning.
And brought it down to, yeah, get there, 19,102. So I just want to make sure that the board is okay with that final amount, so that when it does, the order should be placed very shortly. They're working on it right now.
Excellent. Very good. This will be exciting. Good to really.
So if I can have a motion for that?
Yes, exactly. So, afterward, then. I don't have to do it, right? Okay, so Steve, you want to make this motion?
I'll make a motion.
Okay,
I'll second.
second, all right, thanks. All in favor? Yeah,
Aye.
Aye.
this is very exciting.
So this will give us the
We've been talking
ability
about it forever.
to reimburse the county once the machine is delivered.
And where are you going to park it? At the county garage?
Down here at the Red Barn. Yeah,
Oh, really nice.
yeah, so that's what the goal is.
Yeah, so it'll be available for your use quickly.
Our use, yeah, hopefully, the park police also want the units and theirs are being delayed, so hopefully that, they might be able to use it as well to do some patrols of,
Right.
some of the areas.
I would think it would be necessary to do patrols.
Yes, I don't think there's much patrolling going on right now in Don Gwinnett, so
Right,
that would be
exactly.
nice to take a look out there.
Apparently, there are quite the, at that meeting, there's quite a few trails that people have established all by themselves there. So it's quite the site, apparently. I haven't been there.
We did have
But I
complaints on that and did an investigation of, Michelle was out to it, right, and, of a BMX, course that was put in there. It was being run for many years, so.
Yeah, it's quite extensive.
Right. And well improved, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, how about
Right.
that?
yeah.
Well, they have to get rid of it, do you think?
Oh, no, depends on what the master plan comes up with.
Yes.
Yeah.
The whole consultant team working with it.
Oh, yeah.
There's a meeting tomorrow night,
Oh, wow.
at the advisory committee.
Uh-huh.
We will talk about it.
Excellent.
We got a lot of input at the,
Oh, I bet you did.
gas lady there.
Yeah, right, exactly. Right. And I say you there. Right. Alrighty, so this is very exciting. So I don't need a motion for that, right? It's just an announcement essentially, right? That we got the ATV, UTV. Okay, Agricultural Conservation and Assistance Program, the Delegation Agreement with the State Conservation Commission.
Okay, these are what we've been talking about for several meetings now. It's sort of on the fast track trying to get things done. On the line with us today is Dan Maloser from Chester County, which I'll introduce here. Dan is the head of their agricultural section.
There he is.
Hello.
Yeah, there he is.
Hi. Uh-huh.
So what we'd like to do is that they're trying to get us to sign on to this delegation agreement. Basically, what it'll do over a 4-year period is to provide the conservation district with $300,000 to pass through to farmers trying to put in best management practice for water quality measures on their farms. We don't know what demand is out there. Dan has talked to some of the farmers that farm in Chester County and in Delaware County. We need to do a little bit of quite a bit of outreach to that community to try to identify people and to see who's interested in it. We do not have the capabilities in-house to do that work. So basically, if you look at the MOU with Chester County, it basically, they have agreed to do almost everything. Yeah, in conjunction with us for administrative, that we would review the projects once they are received, designed, and vote to approve those projects and rank once they've been ranked. And Then we would do some of the administrative work, but most of all the costs for the program would be paid through the administrative and technical assistance grant money that's provided by the delegation agreement. So it would be like $240,000
Wow.
remaining to do conservation work. So I think I have that right, Dan?
You got it right, Ed. Very good.
Okay.
Excellent.
And Chester County is gonna be well experienced in this because they're getting like $5 million to
Oh.
do some of this work, I believe. So they'll be busy. And
Yes.
hopefully they'll have enough time to squeeze these ones in, and if not, we'll work on trying to find ways to have this accomplished. We get $100,000 the first year, and then 100,000 after that, and 100,000 the third year. So if all of a sudden there's a big demand, it's possible to get all the money at once too, so.
Mhm.
But there's a lot that goes into it, prevailing wage contracts, farmers that don't do that type of work, and that they'll have to be educated on how to do.
I was gonna think
Yeah, so
education
that's
is a
not-
big part of
So
it.
it's not an easy task, it's not an easy thing, but I know Chester County's been actively involved in lots of these types of things through Penvest and other things for many years. So Chester County's also been helping us out with the ACT program, the Agricultural Conservation Technician Grant. That's, that's like $3,000 a year that we get to do whenever an emergency comes up or we have to have some assistance on a farm activity. They've been graciously providing that service for a number of years.
Right.
I also have this on the agenda for county council on February 14th, so they can look at it and give us their blessing as well, hopefully.
Excellent. This is very good.
And if all fails and we don't get any interest, we just bow out gracefully, but at least the county will know that we put it out there and advertise it and try to make it available.
It would be wonderful they took advantage of some of these things.
Yes.
Operation have to be a particular size to qualify, I suppose.
No, that's a good question.
Dan, I don't think there's a size requirement for the type of a farmer operation. I don't believe so.
No, there's no size requirement as long as we're implementing a BMP that is protecting water quality, reducing nutrient or sediment impacts to water sources, then it's fine. It can be one horse or one sheep. As long as it qualifies as a farm, then we can do a project there.
Alrighty, good. Thank
So
you.
you're taking a leap of faith, but I'd like to have a motion that's
Right.
entered in these agreements, should we get all the approvals that we need.
Okay.
And it's a leap of faith. And the State Conservation Commission's even asked us that because they don't have all the answers yet either. The time frame for spending all this money is very tight. And so they know that there's going to be evolution in the program as we go.
Right. So I will entertain a motion to approve this scenario. Yeah, who would like to make that? Who would like to make the motion?
Big motion.
All right, Steve, thank you. Anybody want to second it?
Yeah, I'll second it.
Okay, thanks, Randy Seifert. Ag person here. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Dan.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, next up, new business. Mr. Lindo? Stream cleanup contributions to CRC and Darby Creek Valley Associations. We donated 300 to each in 2022. Are we going to adjust for inflation? Is everybody wants everything done now?
We adjusted it last year we went up from 250 to 300 last year.
Oh, right. So they're good to cruise, right?
Hmm?
But we'll let them go with the 300.
That's a board decision, but I just wanted to bring that.
Any opinions about this? I guess they use up all the money, right? That they're given.
Consider the
It's hard to tell, right?
conservation district or the county considered a sponsor then.
We've always been.
Yeah, right, exactly. I think so, right, yeah. Alrighty. So shall we donate the 300 again this year? Motion.
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
Okay, so thanks, Steve. And who wants to second that? Randy. Thank you, Randy. He didn't say anything, but he flashed. But he flashed.
Sure.
They do an excellent job, and it's a very important
Yeah.
function. I know the Sustainability Commission and Natural Resources Committee was one of the things that trying to reduce the amount of pollutions in our waterways, plastics and stuff that's out there. These cleanups are a very valuable part of that effort.
Definitely are. Excellent. Do you know the dates for these?
No, we just it was a CRC wrote to us requesting it.
I think CRC's is March 25th and DCBA does several different dates throughout.
Right. Throughout the whole watershed.
Yes, and I believe most of it takes place in March, early April,
Mhm.
possibly around Earth Day.
Yeah.
Um,
I think I saw something that was on Earth Day
Most likely.
up where I live, so,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, they,
Registration opens on Friday, February 10th for the CRC.
What?
I was looking it up last week and it said you couldn't quite register yet and they have a list of sites yet. They soon will.
Oh, good.
They did March 25th.
All right. Okay, next up. The PACD personnel study donation requested $500 from each conservation district. So, Ed, you will discuss this.
Yeah,
with
give you a
us.
little update.
Yes.
State conservation, the Pennsylvania Association Conservation District, one of the committees, the Employees Committee, was trying to find a way to make sure that the legislators were appreciated for the increase in funding that the district received last year. And they wanted to provide some beneficial information to justify that position of this increase moving forward. One of the things that is lacking is trying to evaluate the salaries of conservation district employees statewide. So that was what this study was done to accomplish. And they produced a spreadsheet of a survey of all the 66 conservation districts. All the different positions were categorized in the manager, watershed specialist, E&S technician, agricultural technicians, and administrative, and even assistant managers and engineers. It was a good thing to have on what the engineering are being paid in Pennsylvania to work with conservation district. So that was very beneficial. I don't know if it has any relevance to what the county does moving forward, but it is good for the cost share basis to try to convince the legislators to continue the increased funding that they provided last year.
So this is going to happen. We don't have to do anything about this, right?
No, just
accept the money.
We just donate them $500 if that's
Right.
what the board wishes to
Okay,
request.
so I will entertain a motion to donate $500 from the Conservation District to the PACD personnel study donations.
I'll make that motion.
All right, thanks, Randy.
Second.
Second, all right, Vince. All righty, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Excellent, thank you very much. Okay, enough of that. And now we should be hearing from Beth, but she's not here.
No, I have not heard.
And we have no field representative. Oh, one has been hired. This is
One's
good.
been hired. I
Yay.
forgot the name. They didn't introduce her yet. She hasn't started. But the name was provided, but I didn't write it down into my memory. So we'll wait until she actually gets here. If it is in fact a she, because I don't remember that part either.
Nice that you chose.
But there is, that should be occurring rather soon.
Okay, good. Well, that's moving in the right direction. So, and Linda's still moving off in her other new position, so she'll be relieved of this responsibility as well, right?
Yeah, there's a thing that she's our compliance specialist now, replacing Frank DeFrancisco.
Uh-huh.
And we have something to talk about a little bit on that. I'll wait to get to the staff reports. To
Okay.
Ari's report, maybe he'll mention what he's done with her, Linda Grayson.
righty. So next up will be Ed's report.
Good, you have a copy of my report. Concentrated on trying to get some erosion plans, reviews caught up, so we had 26 plans that were reviewed in January. We still have 15 pending administrative reviews. 18 plans are pending review that are ready to be reviewed, and 3 of those plans have exceeded the review period. But that was down from 6 last. They're coming in fast and furious. A lot of emergency reviews you've seen. That was probably a new record for us, the number of emergency reviews. Not all of them have been finalized because we don't start the emergency process until after the administrative review is completed for permits. We do have a couple of agenda items on county council. One of the items was the Edgemont low volume road project. We moving forward. We decided to cancel the one project in Edgemont because they didn't have, the township did not pay prevailing wage for the one project. It was like $7,000 project, probably more expensive. I see Ray must have went out and got back in here.
I'm here.
Sorry.
You're there. We know you're there.
Yeah, so they're not gonna get that $7,000. This is for $4,000 to do some modification to some water quality inlets that they need to put in. And there won't be any prevailing wage because the work being done is being done by township staff. So you won't have that problem this time. So you have that, the director appointments were approved by the State Conservation Commission. So we're moved forward there. Our green port and our 102, 105 quarterly reports are up to date. We also, I'm working with IT. They'll be here on Thursday finally. I want to thank Francine and them for giving me a little push to help them get them here in time. It's been a while now, since August. We've been working on this, but he's bringing a consultant to come and take a look at our project and see whether or not they can do the type of work we need. And then John Beck for IT is also working at looking at our other issues, which are one, we want to try to go to paperless permitting and sort of like what Chester County does. So we hoping we can do that. But we need storage space and we need some way to get the plans in and store them. And we also want to update our databases because those databases were developed by me back when databases were first started. And they did have felt our need, but now we'd like to get into working with Julie D'Amato to try to get into a GIS based database that we can actually, that's the biggest fallback, trying to find a site when we have a complaint. So it's better to if we have it on a GIS system, that would make it so much easier for us. We did do a tour of, and a demonstration, I should say, in Chester County is using the state provided practice keeper program. And it has a system set up for the ENS and PDS permitting program. It doesn't do everything that I can do with ours, but I think it with the GIS capability, I think the things that I'm able to do aren't as important as the GIS section. So it might be easier to go with that than trying to have the county develop something completely new. So I will try to talk to John Beck about that so he can take a look at it. We already have 3 licenses. We would just need 3 more licenses to be able to use that. And it's cloud-based, so it won't take up any more storage space.
Moving into the
Modern age, yes. We also, in that vein, I don't know, they'll mention it too. We did receive our first e-permit for a project in Marple Township using the state's e-permitting system, and it hasn't been a joyous occasion. We're working through. One of the things is the applicant filed for an individual permit when he only needed a general, so then he had to withdraw that permit. We're trying to figure out how to withdraw that permit, and it's given us red flags. But Michelle has went through the administrative checklist and found a number of items that need to be corrected, and so we're moving through that process for the first time, taking a lot longer than
Right.
normally would do, but we're meeting our deadline, so we're learning as we go.
Right, exactly. You won't have to learn that lesson again, hopefully.
I think we will, because I think they're changing it and revamping it. No one's happy with the current, there's a lot of down thing and they can't fix everything at once. We had a little discussion about the other districts that are working through it. Montgomery County just encourages everybody just to submit paper copies.
Oh,
It's just, it takes too much time to go through the system.
They're the most populous.
They're the most agitated county on some of this program. So, yeah, they catch a lot of things. So they've probably received the first one, e-permit in the region, and they've probably had a couple others, but they don't like the system. They're having a lot of
It's
problems.
been a struggle,
Yeah,
right?
it's been a struggle.
So there's a sense that we're going to work out the kinks.
Yes, they're not mandatory and making it mandatory yet. So
Okay,
that
good.
tells you that they recognize that they're having some problems going through it.
Yeah.
So they are making, it's gonna take a while to work through all the bugs and trying to get it to work a little better. But been a
On the
couple
right path.
they revealed it a couple of years ago, so it's fine that we finally got our first application.
It does seem like it's old news or whatever.
So that's why we're moving ahead with our own paperless
Excellent, yes.
program,
And it'd be easier to move things from one to the other.
hopefully.
Great.
Yeah.
All righty.
That's all I have.
Okay, good. Thanks, Ed. Next up is Michelle.
Yeah, so as Ed mentioned, we have a lot more emergency reviews and, we've been a lot busier this January than in, past years at this time, so, definitely an uptick in permits, but the NOTs started to slow down, maybe just a tad, so it all evens out, but, other than that, I don't really have anything, outstanding to highlight at this time.
Yep. Alrighty, next up is Connie.
I started going out on inspection
Ooh.
for myself. It's a mess, so that's fun. I did a couple of reconstruction meetings. Michelle was with me. Yeah,
Good, yeah.
moving along.
We have a good teacher.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. So you're getting up to speed, right?
Yeah.
Very good.
Missed Ari too.
Oh, well, I'm sorry, he's coming back. Yeah. I'm sorry, I was gonna skip him. I did not skip him.
But Ari, want to talk a little bit about the field work.
Okay.
So
So,
we're Carolyn. We didn't do Carolyn.
I don't know that my
Karen's not
report's
in
in there,
there,
but I usually go last.
Yeah, I'm getting pretty, I guess.
Well, okay, we'll do Abby.
um,
Thank you very much. There's nothing else you want to say, Connie?
No.
Okay. All right. Now we're getting. Art.
there's a project out in Marcus Borough. It's a pretty big project, about 33 acres of disturbance proposed. I went out there first time in November to make sure that their controls were in, the turtle exclusion fence. They were working on their sediment basins. I came back out about a little bit over a month later on January 9th, and I noted that they didn't have any of their basins installed yet, and they were telling me it was gonna take 3 months to install their basins. So I talked with Ed and then I talked with Linda, and we all came to the consensus that a field order was necessary. Linda and I investigated the site on January 25th, where she wrote the field order, handed it to the responsible party. And so now they've ceased all activity other than working on those sediment basins. I went out there on the 1st of this month, February. There is progress being made, but there are still a lot of glaring concerns. They're trying to propose alternative discharge means because they can't get their head walls in due to existing utilities. And so, and the whole site is contaminated. Like
Right, exactly.
there's soil, it's a super fun site. So the question is, are they even supposed to be discharging this dirty water? So that's kind of where it's at. They're working on, submitting an amendment, and in addition to that, they should be working on a corrective action plan at this point. But we're on it. We're not there. As far as I know, I live in Marcus Hook, so I can drive by the site.
Exactly.
They're not working in areas that aren't associated with the sediment basins.
Okay.
So that's kind of where it's at. It's not nearly complete, but it is slowly working its way. They seem to be more aware of what our expectations are, but still a little resistant, wanting to do things their own way. So
Or is this the proposed industrial redevelopment? Sorry.
I don't know if you've been.
I'm aware.
Okay.
I mean, if they're giving you a hard time, let me know.
I mean, I think after the field order came out, they kind of recalibrated their priorities. Because initially it was like, let's do everything in the middle of the site, so things hydraulically work. But it's like, well, where's that water getting to? You don't have your basins installed, so started putting the cart before the horse a little bit. I appreciate that. I'll let you know, but right now, their IMC, I don't know if you're familiar with the Integrated Management Consultants. They've been fairly responsive with us. You know, hopefully if they want their men back on that job, they're gonna get these basins installed in working function, so.
Yeah, the problem, they discovered concentrated pollutants, PCBs,
Yeah.
at a higher level than they, testing suggested. So that
Have to
material
really
is being
sketch the
collected,
surface, right?
and Ari said that they collected the material and stockpiling it and then hauling it all the way to Michigan. now.
Yeah, when Linda and I arrived on the site on January 25th, they were actively using a front loader and placing the topsoil, that contaminated soil into a truck. And we had to stop them and get in contact with the correct agencies to make sure that they had their correct permits, because there was some line of communication that was not connected. And so some paperwork didn't make it to some departments of DEP, but when the phone calls were made to the correct channels, it was ultimately resolved, and that material was hauled off-site and over to Michigan, so.
But the problem that we're having now is that we have not had any communication with the EPA or DEP on the contamination issue. And we're making revisions to the erosion control plan potentially that we need to coordinate a little better. So Linda is on top of that with her supervisor, Mr. Page, and they're making the appropriate contacts to try to get us better coordinated to make sure that we don't allow something that they wouldn't allow, and make sure that that we're coordinating to make sure that even our employees that go out to the site are safe.
Yeah, right.
Because they're actively pumping the water, like, so to install the basins, they need to get to the bottom, and there's sitting water.
Right.
So they're pumping the water through a pumped filter bag. With a compost filter stock surrounded by it. But there's still the question of, are they allowed to be doing this?
Exactly.
It doesn't seem like they should be, but.
We don't know. And we had the problem with the Harvard Road site in Haverford Township, where we even Kevin coordinated with the Act Two people about some groundwater that had a sheen on it, and they had been there remediating. And they allowed them to pump it, and then to Kevin. And then they got all upset that was occurring. So they sort of threw us under the bus, because even though we had the clearance from them, but. So I'm a little leery.
Yeah, right.
Without-
I would remain
without-
suspicious, I would think.
Until we get some better coordination. Once we get the coordination, it should be fine.
I'm sure that, I'm not sure. I have the concept that the pollution there is rampant.
Yeah.
And whether they're addressing all of it is always going to be a question, I would think.
Well, part of the reason that we're also concerned is they stripped all the paving off, right? And that was the cap that
I
was on
was gonna say.
yeah, so.
Yeah,
That-
so
that-
they have a carbon disulfide moat that was capped with concrete.
Uh-huh.
And so it's been like the earth around it has been exposed. They're not supposed to be
Yeah,
removing
right,
earth.
right.
But it's not in the pre-existing condition of being covered.
Totally
Yes,
capped, right.
exactly. Yeah. So there's,
It's pretty, people are pretty cavalier, aren't they?
We don't know. We're
I'm
giving it on. We have, we know that they didn't do what was appropriate for our permit, whether they're doing
Right.
things appropriate for the Act Two
For the
permit.
others, wow.
That's another story we'll learn.
I hope you're well protected when you go out there.
I mean, I'm wearing my boots and,
You have special masks?
I mean, I'm wearing this just because I have bronchitis, but, I'm not wearing it on site typically. There's none of the other site contractors are masking or taking other PPE measures when walking the site. So I'm not even sure they're necessarily, if they are aware of what's going on, maybe they're not concerned or they aren't aware.
Or it's things you have to come in contact with, so as long as you're not making mud pies or eating it, you'll be okay.
Yeah, exactly.
But it gets stuck, it gets on your boots and you have to clean your boots off, and where does that go? Right, exactly, it's like, ew,
Yeah, in the truck. That's in the office.
right back to the office, there we go.
So,
Well, nobody liked the floor.
so that's been my special case this month.
Excellent, it may last more than this.
It will, more than likely.
Yes, well, and you're doing a good job, thank you.
Appreciate that. So that's the major update I have from my report. If there are any other questions, I did have 2 other complaints for sites not associated. I don't know if you're familiar with the 21 Neely Boulevard site. It's in Trainer Borough. It's a A&R Ironworks.
Yes, it's
Okay.
an open field and there's like that, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So that's still an ongoing issue as well, but they are addressing.
That whole area of the county is just inundated with.
I mean, I walked by Marcus Hook Creek at that site particularly, and it's just, yeah, the water.
Dead water.
Yeah, it's like the water you see at a golf course, mini golf course, very blue, turquoise.
Oh.
Yeah, and
A lot of organic material, like that area specifically, they have all the wood chips from the trees that they cleared and it just looks like black, like organic water. I mean, it's pretty gross.
Oh.
And then that's actually going into the stream, so.
Oh, jeez.
so that's
Talking about trainer work.
The
Trainer.
train, yeah, it's right across from the police station.
looks like the tire is great.
Yeah, I believe it's right across the street.
Also near Johnson Creek, which goes through Johnson Park.
Mhm.
But then again, Marcus Hook Creek is all the water drains from Sunoco's acid pits.
There's a reason.
I mean, all the chemicals must be fighting with each other, right?
So I was just down there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're doing their mitigation of that, but yeah, it's been a long time thing, right? Where they had leachate coming through and they're trying to collect it.
Right,
Yeah, I have some interest in that, so we can more about this.
yeah,
Reed Boyd for
I think we know the point
Mhm.
for it.
him.
Yeah,
What was that? I'm sorry.
he said he has an interest in this. I said, I think we have.
So the Reed Boyd farm with the Snowco, is that right?
Oh, I see.
Upper Rochester,
Yeah.
Yeah.
mhm.
look, right near the trainer boundary.
I had a hard time selling green again. It was a bond issue that we worked on to have open space and every.
Well, the problem with the acid pits were it's like, it doesn't solidify. So it's like a gel-up and they have to actually mix something to coagulate it to make it firm ground. So it's holding on site. So that's what they've been doing for many years now. We've been doing 1 pit at a time. I don't know how many pits there are altogether. Yeah, we've been redoing the ENS plans for that over time.
This is all very uplifting.
Well, it's cleanup, so let's get.
Yeah, it is cleanup, but then we've all been around it, for all these years.
Right.
And yesterday there was I don't know whether anybody else paid attention to it, but there was some kind of train derailment.
Oh,
And it had the
some chemicals.
polyvinyl. Right. Oh,
That's where I'm from.
yeah. Huh?
That's not where I'm from.
Oh, are
And
you?
it's like my friend actually lives in the same town and they like took a picture of the sky and it was just like black, because they burn everything.
Palestine was the name of his place, right?
Hmm.
I was in the car and I was listening to this whole thing. I didn't get out of the car until they were finished talking about it because it was so overwhelming. We all like our modern conveniences, but they come at a cost. And whatever they were making, polyvinyl, whatever it is,
I forget what, there were, it was a Congolanium.
a Congolium.
Yeah, that,
Yes, it was a big thing in the fifties and sixties. Everybody, that was like a big, all of your
Linoleum floor.
floor coverings and they did it for walls, they did it for ceilings. It's kind of like popcorn replacement. They have like these smooth ceilings made of Mongolian. The other word was nairn. I don't know what nairn was, whatever. Some combination, but it was, I would think it must have off-gassed, but nobody seemed to notice it. Maybe because everybody was smoking there and it's pretty. No, but it didn't seem like a good thing. So thanks, Harry, and good work. Really.
hopefully I'll have a better status update
More
for next.
optimistic follow-up?
Yeah, we'll see.
Remember to be careful.
Mhm.
You do. Alrighty, so Karen, I had it, I saw it in the,
Yeah, I must have not put it in the packet.
that's okay. Because I already read it. So alrighty, so now we will go on to Karen and the watershed specialist role.
So there are a few things I wanted to highlight in my report. I don't know if I've mentioned this at a previous board meeting, but I did just want to mention quickly that we received an extension for the conservation planting trailer grant. I believe that DEP's typical growing greener grant period is about 3 years. For some reason, this one was a little different and they shortened it to 2 years. So they're a little more lenient on requesting extensions and we have about $1,400 left to spend. So we're going to cover whatever operational costs we have up until we use those funds down. So that grant is still currently active. I don't expect it to last through the spring.
Right, exactly.
Hauling the trailer
High
into
use,
our
right?
projects. But we do have a little bit of extra time on that. We applied for funding to purchase storm sewer labels and to print educational brochures through PACD's non-point source pollution prevention mini grant program that receives funding from DEP. So I think we're gonna hear about those tomorrow, actually, whether those are awarded or not. So our priority area for distributing storm sewer label kits would be the Marcus, Hooks, Stony, and Naaman's Creek watershed.
How about that?
We'll be playing our little part in improving.
Right, improving the quality of life there.
Yeah, so hopefully we receive that funding and we will work with the municipalities and the watershed stewards and whoever else wants to be involved on.
You've been hearing a lot of discussion about trying to get a watershed association set up down in that area.
Mhm.
So that was one of the reasons we targeted that area, just
That's a
to.
good idea, just kind of bring their awareness
Yeah. Mhm.
and their activity.
So if
Everybody
we,
will want to stick in.
right, so if we have any kits left over after we target those areas, then we can then open it up to the rest of the watersheds. The last thing that I wanted to, actually, sorry, 2 more things. We are doing the Christmas tree ribbon.
Yes, and how's that going?
Good. We just need clearance from someone from the Fish and Boat Commission for the time limitations that are on the site through the permit. And we've never had any problems with requesting that time extension, so we're just waiting to hear.
There's a water restriction, but they've always approved it because we're so far off where they're doing it.
They actually did.
There's not any, our project doesn't actually stir up the sediment, it's just putting trees in, so
Right.
they've always given us the extension.
Right.
And then we have to have it all done by March 31st, because that's the extension, Fish and Wildlife have a limitation on that.
And where do you get the trees from? All the municipalities, just right here?
Yeah, they get, I think, 10-foot Christmas trees. They auger into the ground at Rose Tree Park here for the Festival of Lights. So they
Right.
hang on to those until the spring, and then the Parks Department comes down and installs it into the street bank.
Right. Excellent.
There was, I mentioned this to my conservancy group and everybody said, we should do this, we should do this, but I told them someone should talk to you.
Yeah, like every call. We always get calls and people asking about it,
Yeah,
and it's nice to go out to the sites and say that
Yeah.
would be a good site.
because there's so much erosion on the Darby Creek up there, it's a,
Okay,
yeah,
yeah,
with the development.
yeah, I'm happy to help.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna get it on. And then the last thing that I wanted to mention is that Ed and I began recruiting teams for the Envirothon this year. So we started doing some outreach to high schools that have participated in the past. And I'm working with the Delaware County Intermediate Unit to try to do some more outreach and see if we can't get more teams involved. We also shared our flyer on our Facebook page. I don't know how many high school students follow us on Facebook, but might as well put the word out there.
I can always like it and re-put it.
Yeah, please do. Please do.
It's not that I have that many followers, but there you go.
Unfortunately, with Interboro was in, they were out, we're back in, and we were happy to see them. They only had one team last year, but now they're out again. So,
Oh,
and
no.
we have, yeah, we got to get teams back. Haverford, we haven't been able to get back, so.
Yeah, and Radnor's never participated. I think it's so stupid.
Radnor's position was that most of their environmental education done at the middle school level, they said.
That's baloney. There's
I
the fire group in the high school.
They conquered, the Garnet Valley School District was active and they were doing pretty good. And then they just said they were going to concentrate on the high Q because they couldn't be Pencrest. So
Well, and ask them a lot of questions about the environment.
So,
Kind of mix the two, get something going.
and then, of course, we lost Glen Mills when they closed that school,
Right,
which
exactly.
they were always,
They were, and they were always involved in the poster contest too.
Yeah.
Because they were probably beaten to do.
I don't know, they didn't seem to be that bad when they were at our events.
Yeah, right now they seem to.
Mr. Jackson was very, had a very good relationship with them that I saw, but
It's good. So,
So that's all that I wanted to highlight in my report.
there's plenty more in her report if you'd like.
Yeah.
This is good. All right, well, any other comments or commentary? Thank you, Karen. Well, we have some heroes here tonight. Would you like to say anything?
I mean, thanks for having me.
Excellent. We're glad you're here.
Thank you.
We're glad you're here.
Thank
Okay, well, absent that, we have no individual requests for assistance. And our next meeting is not February 7th. It's March 7th, right?
Yes.
Right.
I'm sorry, my apology.
That's all right. I can figure it out because this is the one time of year I know exactly what date it is.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you, Randy. Second, anybody? Steve.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Bye.
Aye.
Bye. Thank you very much. Well, we'll see what other kind of things happen next month. Catastrophes, covered.
Yeah, I did.